Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss a poem. The title of the poem is Where Do All the Teachers Go? Written by Peter Dixon. For a little child, a teacher is a special. Suppose you are a little child and for a little child, his or her teacher is a special. Suppose your teacher is V.B. Pathak sir. Okay. So it is difficult for a child, I mean a small child, to think of his or her teacher as an ordinary person. Actually, in this poem, the child poet wonders what his teachers are like. It is difficult for him or her to think that his teachers are ordinary persons living like common people. Yes. So he or she wonders where the teachers go at 4 o'clock after the school. Do they live in ordinary houses doing the petty jobs like washing and cleaning? The child poet wants to know if these teachers were also born like ordinary children and were bad as children often are. He wonders if they also made mistakes in spellings and were punished. The teachers seem to be very perfect. The teachers, the child thinks that perhaps these teachers never lost their books as he does, or wore unclean clothes like some children. He intends to follow one of his teachers someday when the teachers go home and find out the truth. He will then write it in a poem which the teachers can read out to other children in the class. Yes. Now let us discuss the poem. Where do all the teachers go when it is 4 o'clock? It is clear that the class agent in the school at 4 o'clock in the school of the child. That is why the child thinks, where do all the teachers go when it's 4 o'clock? Do they live in houses? The child thinks. And do they wash their socks? Generally, in the school, students or children are told to wash their house, their socks by teachers. That is why the child thinks like this. Second stanza. Do they wear pajamas? The child thinks. Trousers. Pajama means trousers. And do they watch TV? And do they pick their noses? Pick means to clean their noses. Generally, children are told by teachers to clean their noses. That is why the child thinks like this about his or her teachers. The same as you and me, the child thinks about his or her teachers. Do they live with other people? Have they mums and dads? Mums means mother, dads means fathers. And where they ever children and where they ever bad, the child thinks about his or her teacher that where they ever teacher children and where they ever bad like them, as the teachers tell the children again and again that they are bad in some ways. So he thinks like this. Now the child thinks again, did they means teachers, ever, never spell right? Some children write wrong spellings. The same thing is thought by the child about his teachers. Did they ever never spell right? Did they ever make mistakes? Were they punished in the corner? Generally, if students are punished, when teachers makes them to stand in the corner of the classroom, so he thinks like this. Were they punished in the corner if they pinched the chocolate flakes? Pinched means stole. This is second form of steal. Steal spelling Steal. Steal, stole, stolen. I told. If they pinched, if they stole the chocolate flakes, flakes means thin pieces. Did they ever lose their hymn books? Lose means misplace. Hymn means religious poems. Hymn books means books of religious poems. The child thinks, did they means teachers. The child thinks about his teachers. Did they ever lose their, misplace their hymn books, books of religious poems? Did they ever leave their greens? Dear children, be very, very careful. Greens means vegetables. So, generally, children are in habit to leave the green vegetable in their plates. So, the same thing is thought by the child about his teachers. Did they ever leave their greens? Did they scribble on the desktops? Scribble means writing hurriedly. Generally, children write on the top of their desks. The same is thought by the child about his teachers. Did they scribble? Means, did his teachers or her teachers write hurriedly on the desktops? Did they wear old diary, dirty jeans? Did they wear old dirty jeans? Generally, sometimes children come in school in dirty jeans. So the child thinks the same about his teachers. I will follow, the child says about himself. I will follow means go after as a spy, जासूस की तरह. I will follow one back home today means he wants to go after his teacher to his home as a spy, and he thinks I will find out what they do. The child thinks to find out what his teachers do in their home. Then I will put it in a poem. The child thinks to write the findings in a poem that they can read to you. Yes, they means teachers, so that his teachers may read for other children. So, dear children, in this poem, we saw the thinking of a child about his or her teachers. The child is very small, and it is difficult for him or her to think that his teachers are ordinary persons living like common people. So he wonders where the teachers go at 4 o'clock after the school. He thinks, do his teachers live in ordinary houses doing the petty jobs? Petty jobs means small jobs, trivial jobs like washing and cleaning. The child poet wants to know if these teachers were also born like ordinary children and were bad as children after often are. He wonders if they also made mistakes in spellings and were punished. You know, generally children are punished for writing wrong spellings. They are ordered by his teachers to stand in the corner of the class sometimes. So the same things are thought by the child about his teachers. The teachers seem to be very perfect. The child thinks that perhaps these teachers never lost their books as he does or or unclean clothes, like some children. Yes, he intends to follow one of his teachers someday when the teachers go home and find out the truth. He will then write it in a poem which the teachers can read out to other children in the class. Dear children, now the time has come to discuss about the working with the poem. Answer these questions. So, one question: why does the poet want to know where the teachers go at 4 o'clock? You can say the poet wants to know. Poet means the child in this poem. The poet wants to know where the teachers go at 4 o'clock because he goes home himself, but he is very little to imagine about his teachers. Yes. Question number two: where are the things normal people do that the poet talks about? The poet talks about many normal things which are done by common people, like wearing pajamas, picking up the nose, watching TV, etc. Question number three: what does he imagine about? A. Where teachers live. He imagines if his teachers live in the houses. It is written in your poem. So you can say he imagines, or the poet imagines, or the little child imagines if his teachers live in the houses. B. What they do at home. He imagines if his teachers wash their socks, watch TV, clean their nose, etc. C. The people with whom they live. He imagines if his teachers live with their parents. Parents means father, mother. D. Their activities when they were children in school. The child imagines if his teachers lost their hymn books. I have told you, hymn means religious poems. Hymn books means books of religious poems. Scribbled on the desktop or old dirty jeans. Next is question number 4 of 1. Why does the poet wonder if teachers also do things that other people do? The poet wonders if teachers also do things that other people do because his teachers are special for him. Question number 5. How does the poet plan to find out? What will he do once he finds out? You have to answer. you should you should keep the last stanza of the poem in your mind to answer this question. The poet plans to find out to follow his teachers. He will secretly see the activities of his teachers and write the information in a poem for other children. Now, question number 2, part 1. What do you think these phrases from the poem mean? First, punished in the corner means a child is punished in a corner of his class by his teachers where he spells wrong words and steals chocolate flakes. Second, leave their greens means some children do not like to eat green vegetables, so they leave the vegetables untouched in their plates. So, dear children, I would like to suggest you that you should read your lesson again and again. You should listen this video again and again so that you can understand this poem. I would like to suggest you to remember this poem by heart and you have to write the answers of the questions which have been given in the last of the poem. If you have a problem, you listen the video again because I have discussed all the exercises which have been given under working with the poem. So thank you children. Have a good day. Thank you.